welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys are having a great and exceptional evening. Alright, just wanted to have a little simple conversation. It's something about today I just want to rant away. But anyways, so I'm going to speak about the controversy in the NFL. I have no dog in the bone because I don't care if you watch my channel. You know I don't watch sports, so listening to podcasts and reading books and taking trips, those are my sports. Those are my hobbies. So all the sports fans out there, I don't care what side of the fence you're on the whole NFL plantation thing, because I don't even know majority of the name of the players involved because that's how much I care. But I will say this with all sincerity. And I was having a conversation with a friend about mine just a couple minutes ago. That's why I was like, let me get on the gram and get my perspective. At the end of the day, we all know this. And the reason why I have the Denzel Washington Training Day behind me, because if you've ever seen Training Day, one of my favorite quotes of the movie is literally the beginning of the movie when Ethan Hawke goes into the diner, meets up with Denzel Washington, and he keeps talking to Denzel Washington. Is like, hey, let me enjoy it. This is before, social media. He's like, hey, let me enjoy my newspaper, and Ethan Hawke kept talking. He couldn't stand the silence, so he says, Denzel Washington says to Ethan Hawke, tell me a story. And he's like, Ethan Hawke's like, what do you mean tell you a story? He said, tell me a story, because you can't sit there for 10 to 20 minutes and let me enjoy my newspaper. Why don't you tell me a story? He said, because 90% of this stuff is nonsense and whatnot. It's fake. It's just made up. He said, but guess what? It entertains me at the end of the day. And that was my favorite. He said, so since you won't let me be entertained by my newspaper, why don't you entertain me by telling me a story? And that's one of my favorite quotes from the movie Training Day. And I look at the NFL situation as, I look at it like this. One, I don't care which side you're on the issue in regards to you're for the players, you're against the players, you're for the owners, you're against the owners. That's cool. That's your business. That's a beautiful thing about the United States. But I will say with all sincerity that at the end of the day, when you have a job, regardless of who you work for, doesn't mean that you're always supposed to step in line and never speak out. No, but especially in the social media world, if you want to keep your job, it's always in your best interest to make sure that you remain a decent and obedient employee. That's all I'm going to say. Now, because if that's the case, then that means everybody's a slave. And everybody's not a slave, because everybody has a choice to leave unless you are legally binded. And if you leave, then obviously you might be subject to specific penalties and whatnot. But even working at other corporations, people can be subject to specific, they get a bonus certain times to start, but if they leave after a certain amount of time, they have a bonus, but they have to stay with the company for 1 to 2 to 3 years and whatnot. Now, legally, you can leave and whatnot, but you signed a contract stating, hey, you have to pay your bonus back if you leave. It's like when a lot of times when people work for a corporation and they have the tuition reimbursement programs where you have the opportunity to be reimbursed for going to school and things of that nature. But if you leave the company after within a certain amount of time, then you will have to pay that money back. That is one great way of looking at it. And it's the same thing of being a contracted employee in the NFL or any sports league and things of that nature. Because at the end of the day, I'm just going to say this, and this is why I like Marshawn Lynch from Oakland, California. I like what he's doing. He made his money in the NFL. Whether he liked being there 100% of the time, I doubt that, because you can't. I don't think you can really name. Anyone can name any specific job they've had in their life where everything was all hunky-dory, it was 100% paradise. It's just not a reality and whatnot. What happens in the NFL, do I think, is it right or wrong? Most jobs, everything's not 100% right and whatnot. And I think if there's foul play going on in any organization, I think it's wrong. Like I said, don't get me wrong on that one. But at the end of the day, players, make your money, do what you got to do. If you want to stay in, play for as long as you can play, that so be it. But I will say at the end of the day, get your money, make your money move, buy your businesses. That's why I said I love the Marshawn Lynch, because he got his money, started buying up real estate in Oakland, California, has his own retail stores, restaurants, I believe. He's giving back to community by giving kids supplies and computers, food programs. He's not just doing a handout, but he's doing the hand up thing. In a sense, I call him, in a sense, I call him like the Nipsey Hussle of Oakland, California, from an NFL perspective, because he's a businessman and he's helping create economic business opportunities in his community, just like Nipsey Hussle was doing the same thing in Los Angeles, just like Nipsey Hussle. Um, he even he called working for the record labels in a sense being a slave. I'm even reading it. I'm going through some of his old podcasts. I'm actually reading his book right now on his life story. But he called being signed to a record label. He called it being a slave and whatnot. But he did his time, made his money, and then went out on his own. And that's all I can say about it. It's like a job is a job. And if you're going to be there for 30 to 40 years, great. If not, you do your time, make your money, get your experiences, get your good references, then you move on with your life. Now, if you have an obvious legal claim in a suit to file against your employer, then I get that as well. So at the end of the day, I'm giving my 2 cents. I'm not disparaging anybody for what they're doing in the NFL. I'm not disparaging anybody how they feel about the NFL, whether good, bad, or indifferent, because I don't care that I don't watch sports. But I will say at the end of the day that the ones that the biggest noise that anybody can make in this life is owning investments, being healthy, owning businesses, and helping create other opportunities within your community. All right. So nine times out of 10, most of the nonsense that's put out there in the media is like Denzel Washington said in Training Day. It's nothing but, you know what? It's nothing but, I just call it entertainment or reality TV at this point. So might as well be the Housewives of Atlanta at this point. So anyways, do the great 3 free things. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. As I always say, make money moves or you're going to live like a fool. Take care.